Things that I find often happens with horses that are defensive towards physical pressure, they're also defensive towards spatial pressure. And people will say, well, how come they let me catch them, or how come they let me lead them? And I will say, well, often if we look at if there's quality or tolerance, things are usually more on the side of tolerance. So things that you want to watch for, even in just this time of standing here, how often Megan has tried to push into my personal space, literally trying to push me out of the way because I am creating a special pressure by asking nothing. If you see the drifting, the moving, the rearranging, these are all signs of the horse that's insecure. So is the problem the behavior of her moving? No, it's what she's feeling on the inside about the pressure of me being near her or physically attached to her with the halter and the lead rope. So something to watch for is every time I go in with my hand, she tends to kind of push with her nose at me. It's almost like a defense mechanism where she's creating this wall to block and keep me away from her. So things that we want to watch for is if I use just a little bit of energy, what does she feel like? If you can see her muzzle, her bottom lip has wrinkles in it. There's tension above and below her eyes because again, this is something different and unfamiliar to her, and I'm coming into an area that's causing potential concern for her. You can actually hear the difference in her breathing, and then when she's too unsure, you see the feet move away. So many times will people tell me the horse won't stand still, and I will say it's often because they're not okay with pressure. It's not about the horse standing still. So as I come in here and I reach in, again, I'm not ever reaching the metal part of my snap. No matter what type of lead rope you have, it can rip your hand open. So you always want to make sure you're on the material side. Now, if you see, what has she done twice? As soon as my hand went in under her jaw, she started biting at me with her bottom lip. This is all signs of letting down because we just did a little bit of a session when she was melting down loose in the pen. So this is still mentally processing. If you watch, if she does wind up yawning, if the jaw stays parallel to one another, the upper and lower, it is a letting down. Her yawn still has a bit of tension in it from left to right, so that she's still not all the way as soft and relaxed as what she could be. So as I start to play with this lead rope, I'm starting with just my thumb and index finger. Most people tend to grip as if they're going into tug of war with the horse. They grab on with tension and it comes from their shoulder. We want to say, can we have piano fingers? Meaning, can we start with just the thumb and the index finger? If I had to increase energy, I could add another finger, but I don't want to start off with an anticipation, despite her chaos, that I'm going to need a whole lot of pressure in order for her to hear me. So if you notice, as she's moving all over the place, as I'm standing here with just my thumb and index finger on the lead rope, she was ready to leave. As I do this, she starts to, can you see the bounce and the push, whether it's backwards or forwards, right there where she literally takes her muzzle to push it out of the way. It shows you, if you look at all 4 feet, there's tension and a physical brace in there because of how she feels about the pressure of just my fingertips touching the lead rope. So imagine if she was tied to a solid object, she got concerned and she tried to get away. If she's bouncing that hard towards just my fingertips, what do you think she would do if she felt restricted and tied to